everyone, I'm Corinne.
And I'm Brandi.
Welcome to A Pot of Tales, the podcast where we read you short stories that we made up and now you have to listen to.
Every week we'll each present a short story using the same genre, setting, and a challenge item to include. Everything else is up to our own interpretation. So how was your week?
My week since Friday, when we last recorded.
Yeah.
Well, weirdly, I've gotten a cold since then. I don't know if you can hear it on here. My voice is doing a little bit better than it was this morning and yesterday. But yesterday I woke up with like a sore, well, not even a sore throat, just a froggy throat. And it's weird. But I think I got it from all the infants at work, like drooling and coughing into my face and
Yummy.
wiping all their boogers all over me. And all over everything that they touch.
That sounds like a dream.
That I also have to touch because I have to clean it.
Well, you better not share it.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. We're keeping our microphones like the same ones that we used last time, so. Yeah. Oh, yeah, but like on, what was it, Thursday, we had pajama day. We had pajama day on Thursday, and we watched The Grinch, like the old version.
How was that?
It was interesting. I think if I was with an older group, it probably would have been a lot better, but I was with toddlers, and like I was subbing for someone. And the other teacher that was in the room was like, wow, that went a lot better than I thought it would. And I was like, really? Because, like, I mean, they all stayed seated, which is why she said that went a lot better than I thought. But they all talked the entire time. Like, they're toddlers. They're, like, 2 years old.
Yeah, I didn't think they would, like, sit down and watch a whole movie
I know.
Without moving or anything.
Yeah, and, like, there was this one kid that... Like, they gave out these special treats for them to eat while they were watching it, and it was, like, Christmas themed, but it was, like, I think the other teacher thought that they were, like, Apple Jacks or something, because she tried one of the pieces, because we were like, what is this cereal? But it was, like, red and green, star-shaped Apple Jacks or something that we think it is, and it had, like, tiny little marshmallows in it, and he just kept, like, reaching into his bag, and then just, like, throwing them onto the floor. Like, he wasn't even eating them. He was just like, I'll take this and put it right there. Over and over again, and we had to take it away. But he didn't want to eat them, so we were just like, okay, we'll just take these, thank you.
Maybe he was saving it for later.
Well, I asked him, I was like, do you want to, like, eat any of these? Like, maybe I could pass him some, a little bit at a time, so we didn't have, like, the whole bag. It was just, like, a sandwich baggie. And he was like, no. I was like, okay, I guess we'll just put these away. And then he wasn't causing as much havoc.
Maybe he's not a cereal dude.
Yeah, he might not be. That kid has serious ADHD, if I've ever seen it. Like, it will probably be diagnosed when he's a small child.
From the stories that you've told me, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the same kid.
Yeah.
The one that's like, everything is either Lello or not Lello. No other color.
Lello. I love that.
Yeah, he'll point to something blue and he's like, Lello? And I'm like, no, that's blue. And he goes, not Lello. I'm like, that's right. No, I do like him, though. He's really cute.
That's how I'm going to deal with life now.
Yeah, that's
not
how I'm
Lello.
That's how I'm thinking of it, too. And, like, he just, like, needs to be entertained with something different every 5 minutes. Like, he gets bored really easily, and I can respect that. Mm-hmm. So, whenever I'm with him, I try to keep an extra eye on him. He is really cute, though. He's sweet. But, yeah, that was my work week. And I think I forgot to tell you about Grinch Day on Friday when we had to re-record our last episode.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Technology's weird. I don't totally understand it. And I was saying, if we ever become big enough on this podcast to hire someone, we're definitely hiring an editor first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do my best, but, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I put things off too long and then I panic text Brandi 15,000 times.
It's funny because when you were texting me, my phone was in the room, but I had only left it in there for 5 minutes, and then I come back, and then I get 15 messages. I was like, oh, God.
What'd you do, like, go to the bathroom, and then...
Yeah.
I was sending you a bunch of, like, GIFs, like, panic. That's what I typed into the GIF search bar, just panic, and then was sending all the ones that I liked from it.
Yep.
Over and over again, because you weren't texting me back, and I was like, oh my God, where did it go? Our stories are gone. We only had, like, the intro, basically. And I was like, we have to re-record. I think it went nicely, though.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I liked how it came out, and I hope you all did, too. So how was your week, Brandi?
It was good. We celebrated Brandon's birthday. We went to the Enchanted Village, and then we went to BJ's Brew House.
Oh, wait, brew house.
Yeah.
Like BJ, like the store?
No, it's like a different
Oh, I was like,
thing.
when did BJ's get a brewery in there?
Oh no, it's like it's a restaurant.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Wait, where is that? It sounds familiar.
I believe Attleboro.
Oh, maybe I haven't
I
been
think.
there. Maybe I haven't been there. I think I'm thinking of something else that Ryan tried to show me once, and then we tried to go there, and then they didn't have the fried pickles on the menu like he thought they did, so we left.
No, not that one.
Yeah.
I mean, they serve like alcohol, but not like it's. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like a bar and grill kind of place.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I like those. Those are fun. So as a reminder, on the 25th, aka Christmas, is our first listener episode. Also our last listener episode of the year, 2023, which I love.
Our first and last.
First and last of the year. But don't worry, because starting February 1st, we will be releasing them monthly on the 1st. So that way you can look forward to it, and you can send in any short stories that you have written, whether it's using your own ideas, or you can use any of our prompts that we've used in our previous episodes. And we already have a couple submissions, so we're very excited to read those to you. And Brandon will be guest starring and reading us a little section of his novel that he's been writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get to recording that as soon as we can. Christmas is quickly approaching. Today's the 10th. We have 15 days.
Oh my goodness.
I also have 15 days to do all my Christmas shopping. So
You didn't take advantage of the Black Friday on Amazon?
I couldn't. Because I was in between jobs, remember?
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I mean, I did, like I said on the previous episode, I have one small thing for everyone so far. But I gotta get the extra fun stuff that I wanted to do. And I don't know if I'm gonna have the energy to make everything that I wanted to make, so oh well.
It's okay. Amazon, they basically said, oh, here's a deal, but it's not really a deal.
Oh yeah, they're like, here's 1% off. Isn't this a great Black Friday?
Yeah, and it was like the same price as it was a month ago, and then they jacked up the price and then put it back down to the same price.
Yeah, we see you, Amazon. I know I use you constantly, but I see you.
Same thing with all the other stores, though.
Yeah, I know. So for this episode, what is this, episode 9?
Yeah.
For this episode, I mean, we pretty much always have a coffee, but today we're acknowledging that we have a coffee while we're recording.
I have a medium iced peppermint mocha with regular cream and sugar.
Yum. And then I have a medium iced toasted white chocolate with 2 creams, because for some reason 3 just feels like too much.
How?
I don't know. It's like I can just taste cream over coffee.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, I don't know, it's just like weird. I don't know why. But, yeah, so we have our iced coffees from Dunkin' today. Not a sponsor. Dunkin', hey, want to sponsor us?
Want to sponsor us? Dunkin'?
Dunkin', can you hear us?
Dunkin'.
Dunkin', do you care?
So if you hear ice, that's why.
Yeah. But the reason we're acknowledging it today over every other day is because our stories this week. So the genre was fantasy.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that.
What? I thought you brought it up specific.
No.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Oh, because I was like, oh, what else do you want to talk about? She goes, coffee. And I'm like, oh, perfect segue. No, she just wants to talk about coffee, which is fair. It's fair. It's a good thing.
I love coffee.
Yeah, me too. This is my second one today because I didn't have any yesterday and I felt like I needed to make up for it. So, our setting for our fantasy is in a coffee shop. And then we had to include one of the most magnificent animals I think are on this planet, a raccoon. And I love them so much. And I wish I had a raccoon, a domesticated one, because I love them. I mean, I have a domesticated rabbit, which is pretty close, but like they don't have their little hands and opposable thumbs. Rabbit paws are a little different.
I can buy you a raccoon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Don't tell Ryan.
Okay.
Just bring him over. It's fine. And And they'll be like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't just leave him out in the cold.
Yeah.
He's my little friend. And Thumper needs a buddy, which doesn't work when I usually argue for a puppy or a kitten. When I say Thumper needs a kitten or a puppy. Thumper's an only child, and he has only child syndrome, for sure.
I'll get you a raccoon. Don't worry. I'll make it happen.
Thank you. Somehow, some way. Looking forward to it.
All right, Corinne. You're up.
Yes, and excuse me for my voice getting froggy, because I've been trying not to talk too much to, like, help it recover, but thankfully it's not, like, sore. It's just weird. It's just not working correctly, and it's annoying.
And if you share it with me, I know where it came from.
Yes, it came from babies, probably, coughing in my face. The Mystic Cafe had been a staple of the community for generations. For over 100 years, the people of the town would flock to the front door of the shop first thing in the morning for their breakfast and first coffee of the day, regardless of there being countless other chain cafes popping up through the years that offered fast service and ready-to-order pastries. The townspeople could always agree that the Mystic Cafe had a charm and the best coffee around that generations of mothers had passed down to their daughters that no corporation could ever dream to replicate. Celeste was the fourth-generation owner of the cafe who had grown up watching her grandmother, then mother, run the shop with unfaltering dedication and loyalty to their customers. When she was past the responsibilities of continuing on their legacy, she did her best not to let the pressure get to her. However, in this day and age, people had become more demanding and always had their phones at the ready to post a bad review at the slightest inconvenience. Thankfully, Celeste and her predecessors had a solution to these kinds of people, but she was taught never to use this tactic unless absolutely necessary. She came from a long line of powerful witches, and yes, was one herself. Mm-hmm. Celeste was taught at a young age how to use her magic to the benefits of others, such as healing, confidence boosting, and answered prayers or wishes, through the coffee they brewed and the food that they baked. Part of what made the cafe so successful was that the customers would be watched carefully as they came in to order, and Celeste would have menu items specifically named for how they were meant to help you. For example, there were turnovers called Turning a New Leaf for New Beginnings.
Ha ha ha. I like that.
I know. I couldn't get too creative with some of these, so they're kind of on the nose. There's also eclairs called Eclairvoyant Moments. For needing to think clearly in your decisions. Croissants called Confidence of the Crescent Moon, for using the power of the moon for healing. For daily coffee, a charm was infused into the beans for overall health and a mood booster that went along nicely with the natural caffeine that could bring energy. But the caffeine would cause a crash later on when it wore off. So the coffee from Mystic Cafe, people noticed, didn't cause that dreaded energy crash. So it kept them coming back for more. The thing is that none of the customers were aware of the magic that had been residing in their town for all of these years, and Celeste and her family intended on keeping it a secret ingredient. Celeste had woken up at 3 a.m. for her usual opening prep. The shop didn't open until 5 a.m., but 3 to 4 she was at her most powerful, so she always spent that hour baking and brewing the coffee with her charms in private before her other employees arrived for their shifts. She used her key to get in the front door, then locked it back up so no early birds were tempted to ignore the open hours sign right there in front of the door window. But when she turned to walk back to the kitchen, Celeste lost her breath. Before her, laying in the bakery display case, was a large, round raccoon stuffing his face with everything he could get his grubby little hands on. Celeste froze as she saw that he had gotten into everything.
Same.
Right. She had always been so careful not to cross certain charms and spells, and yet here was this raccoon carelessly consuming every one of them at once.
Oh my gosh. It's gonna be the most powerful raccoon, right?
Oh no, she muttered to herself as she remembered the cream puffs that she had set aside for special occasions of wish granting. Not everyone got one of these. They were a secret menu item for those Celeste chose who deserved it. She ran to check behind the counter where she kept a small batch under a cloche, and her heart sank as she saw that they too had been demolished.
Not the cream puffs.
Yeah, the magical wish-granting cream puffs. Anger rose up in her as she grabbed the broom and started toward the raccoon. "Whoa, whoa," said a voice in the room with her. Celeste had frozen mid-swing as she watched the raccoon raise his hands to her in surrender. "What's your problem, lady?" She saw his little mouth move as she heard the voice and realized that it was indeed him speaking. She had seen a few unintended side effects of the charmed food over the years, but nothing quite like this. She put the broom back down and scolded him. "You've eaten everything I had to start the day with. How did you even get in here in the first place?" She was angry and could tell that he could sense it. "Well, you see, lady, yesterday I climbed in this beautiful trash barrel full of the most delicious scraps I've ever seen, and I dozed off. Then next thing I knew, when I woke up, I was in here. I thought I had died and gone to heaven with all of this food here just for me." Celeste stared at him in disbelief as she tried to recall who had brought the trash out last night. Surely whoever it was would have felt the weight of a chunky raccoon inside, even while using the wheels. She couldn't decide what to do next. She couldn't have him in here scaring away all the customers, but she also couldn't just release him back outside to the public. People wouldn't be able to handle a talking raccoon on the loose. "Come with me," she said. The raccoon rolled himself upright again and jumped down from the case. "Where are we going?" he asked as he waddled to keep up. Celeste opened the door to her office and pointed inside. "You're going to quietly stay in here until I know what to do with you. No talking. Don't touch anything. Just go to sleep for now." The raccoon lowered his head and slowly walked in as he was told. "Will you bring me food?" he asked. "You've had enough for now," Celeste said as she shut the door. She leaned against the wall with her head in her hands. In all the years that her family had run this cafe, nothing like this had ever happened before. She didn't know what to do, but she knew that she couldn't call her mother for help. She'd be so disappointed in Celeste for being so careless, and they couldn't be discovered for their magic. The last time one of her coven had been exposed in 1692, the public couldn't take it, and it almost ruined them all. No, she had to figure this out on her own, and quickly. She used a little extra magic this morning to speed up the baking time before her first shift employees arrived. They didn't know about the magic either, so she thought quickly of an excuse to keep them out of her office today.
Wait.
What?
So if the employees ate them, would they also get a little bit of magic too?
Yeah. Yeah, like it was just kind of like a little like charm to like kind of help people along their day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But like no one knew that's what was actually happening. They just knew that they felt a lot better about themselves and everything afterwards. That's at least the idea that I was trying to get across.
Cool.
Yeah. Usually she kept the door open to them for breaks, but today she was going to tell them that a pipe broke and that it flooded, so they will have to sit in a customer table today until it's fixed. The raccoon had stayed quiet while the employees arrived and they opened the shop. Her excuse to keep the office locked up was enough for everyone not to think twice about it. Then around 9 that morning, one of the baristas came to Celeste and said that it sounded like someone was crying in there. But since the door was locked, she couldn't get in to see if they were all right. Celeste thought quickly to come up with an explanation. "Oh, that must be the repairman," she said. "Really?" said the barista. "I didn't see anyone come in." "He came in through the back door. I didn't want the customers to worry. You know that they would be asking all kinds of questions." The barista furrowed her brow in suspicion, but just said, "All right. He sounded pretty upset in there, though. I'll go check on him," Celeste said.
Imagine just going to work and just crying.
Oh, wait.
Not like I haven't done that before.
Oh, yeah, right. She took the opportunity to escape the conversation and unlocked the office door and slid in quickly so no one would see inside. There the raccoon laid sprawled out on top of her desk, crying and using important receipts as a tissue.
Mm-hmm.
"What are you doing?" She raced over to confiscate her paperwork. "Those are not for wiping your snot on." "Well, what else do you want me to use?" sobbed the raccoon. "I'm trapped in here with nothing else, abandoned, and left with my own thoughts of existence that I've never experienced before."
Same.
Might have been projecting a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
"My life was always so simple and fulfilling before, and now I have the need for more purpose. Who am I? What am I? Will the world even accept me as a talking raccoon?" Celeste felt a wave of sympathy wash over her for the pathetic creature as she watched him wallow in his own self-pity. She had always had her life work cut out for her as the descendant of her great-grandmother who had started this cafe. She never needed to worry about her purpose in life, so she wasn't quite sure how to go about comforting the poor thing. She knew that she was responsible for him now, as it was her own magic that made him that way, so she asked him a simple question. "When you were eating everything this morning, did you have any intentions or wishes you were thinking about?" she asked. The raccoon lifted his head thoughtfully and replied, "Well, certainly I was thinking about how delicious everything was, and I thought if I were a human, I could eat like this every day." Celeste face-palmed herself. "So you wished to be human, and the charms made it so you could talk." It was more of a statement rather than a question. "I also wondered how they could taste so good, and suddenly I knew that they needed to be assembled and baked," he said. This made Celeste pause in surprise. "Wait, do you know how to bake now?" she asked. "Oh yes," he nodded. "I know every recipe for everything in that case. The only thing I don't know how to do is the magic part. I feel it within me and know the incantations, but don't know how to use it." "You have magic now too?" Celeste held her head in both of her hands now. How did he get magic? The spells were very specific as to not let that happen when people ate the charmed food. Then it hit her that it was specific for people. No animal has ever eaten the food before, so no one would have been prepared for this.
Oh.
There was a knock at the door and Celeste's heart stopped. "Who is it?" asked the raccoon. "Shh!" Celeste angrily whispered. "Don't say a word. Stay here." She got up and opened the door a crack to see the same barista from earlier standing there. "I was just checking to see if everything was okay," she said,
She needs to mind her own business.
she said while trying to discreetly peek inside. "Oh, yes," replied Celeste as casually as she could. "Everything's fine. The repairman will be done in no time." "Okay, great," she said. "We could use your help out front. It's a bit busier than usual today, and the coffee orders are piling up. Brianna and I are trying to keep up, but I keep having to switch back and forth between making coffee and the register." "Sure, I'll be out in a few minutes. I just need to finish something up in here real quick." As Celeste finished her sentence, she felt something fuzzy brush by her ankles and shove itself out of the door. The barista screamed as she saw the raccoon scurry to the front and climb up the stool by the register. "Can I take your order, ma'am?" he asked politely.
Yes. I was waiting for this.
Yeah. The woman stared in disbelief for a moment as he stared back at her, waiting. "Ma'am, there's a line behind you if you don't mind telling me your order." The woman looked to Celeste, who had run over to them, then gave her order to the raccoon. "A large hot coffee with cream and 2 pumps of mocha, please." He typed in the order on the register, then asked, "Would you like one of our cookies of the day? They bring you good luck on your daily goals." Said the woman, still staring. "Sure." "Great." He added the cookie to the order and told her the total. She handed him her credit card and watched in amazement as he swiped it in the machine and returned it back to her with the receipt. "Your order will be ready in a few moments," he said to her. Then he summoned the next customer up to him to take his order. By now, everyone had their phones out, recording everything. Celeste began to sweat as she realized that there was no turning back now. The health department would be by any day now and shut her down.
I was just going to say that. I was like, this is such a health code violation.
"This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen," said the barista who stood next to Celeste. "Where and how did you find a talking raccoon?" Celeste knew that she had to come clean. There was no way that she could wipe everyone's memories or even get everything off of the internet and pretend that it didn't happen. She stepped forward next to the raccoon and looked straight at the nearest phone recording. "I have a confession to make to everyone, including my own employees." The cafe went quiet as she began to speak. "There is a reason why we have been so successful for over 100 years now. My great-grandmother opened this cafe when she was a young woman with the intentions of helping the community she lived in. She wanted nothing more than to use the magic in our bloodline for good, and the best way she could think of was to charm our coffee and pastries with luck and blessings for those who consume them. For generations, this cafe has been passed down to the daughters of our family to keep the tradition and blessings going. Now, to explain our new raccoon friend here, he found a way to sneak in and got into the bakery case and ate everything in there. There has never been an animal that has eaten our food, so the charm that keeps people from wishing to have magic didn't work. As he ate, and don't worry, that bakery case was scrubbed clean after with magic, He wished he could be a human so that he could eat and make this food every day. I know this is a lot to take in, but please don't tell anyone because I will take care of it. The crowd started murmuring when Celeste stopped talking, and a teenager spoke up. You mean he can't stay? He's so cute, said another. And if he now knows how to bake, he could work here. I hardly think that the health department would allow that, said Celeste. We won't tell them, someone said. Yeah, we'll keep it a secret.
That's a real Hannah Montana moment
I know.
right there.
I was like, how am I going to wrap this up? And then I was like, oh, we'll do Hallmark.
Yeah.
We'll go the Hallmark route where everyone just agrees to agree. No worries there. Let's see. We won't tell them, someone said. Yeah, we'll keep it a secret, said an older man. Your shop has been a part of this town my entire life. My own mother was here for its grand opening. I always knew there was something special about this place, and now knowing that you and your family have cared for us the way that you have with your magical gifts, I think it would be the least we could do to keep your secret.
Oh,
I know.
that's really nice.
What a nice old man.
Yeah.
Celeste didn't know what to say, and as everyone started to nod in agreement, put their phones away, she started to tear up. I guess we will need to name our new employee, she said after a few moments. Everyone cheered, and the raccoon looked up to her with his little hands on his face in shock. Can I pick my own name? He asked. Of course, said Celeste. I would like to be called Croissant, because that was my favorite thing I ate today.
Oh, that explains it.
And that's
Yeah,
why I was
okay.
asking you what your favorite pastry was. Laughter erupted around the cafe as Celeste gave him a pat on the head. Okay, Croissant, welcome to the team. Croissant beamed with pride as everyone clapped for him. And from then on, the people of the town kept their promise to keep the Mystic Cafe's secrets in return for their continued care for the community. And Croissant was fulfilled in his life's work of serving up some of the tastiest pastries and coffee anyone had ever had. The secret ingredient this time was not only magic, but the fun of getting your order taken by a magical talking raccoon. The end.
That's really cute.
Thanks.
I want one now.
I know I love croissant.
Yeah.
And I love croissants. All right, Brandi, what have you got for us?
I got a raccoon in a coffee shop.
Nice.
Okay. Are you ready? I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sniff, sniff, sniff. I hate myself.
Wait, ready? Ready?
Mmm.
Gross.
I hate that. Alright, do that again. Do it again.
Okay. Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mmm. The aroma of the coffee beans is overwhelming, I think, while rummaging through the trash can.
Is this from the point of view of the raccoon?
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Hey, get out of here, you filthy animal! The coffee shop owner yells as he's coming at me with a broom hitting the ground. I scurry away into the nearest alley in between the two shops. There are broken bottles and cigarettes strewn about. I hide under some wet trash bags. Sniff, sniff. Yuck! It smells all musty in here. Jerry hears some...
Wait, is that Jerry or Gary?
I meant to say Jerry.
That says Gary.
I know,
my
but
friend.
everything else says Jerry.
Oh. Gary's a funnier name, though.
Well, I can't read Gary now.
It's fine, it's fine.
Jerry hears some distinct murmuring coming from the street in hopes that they will quickly fade away. But it starts to sound like they are getting closer, but it sounds muffled from under the trash bags. He kind of hears, I told you to get this trash out days ago, Zach. Now we have animals.
Come on, Zach. Do your job.
Zach says, I'm sorry, I had a paper to write for English. It's a huge part of my grade. Zach grabs the trash bag, and Jerry rustles in the bag and yells, Hey, watch the hands! Zach chucks the bag at the wall. Jerry screams, Ouch! Why would you do that? I told you I was in here. Zach says, Wait a minute. You're a raccoon? Why are you talking to me? How are you talking to me? Jerry is shaking from the fear and the cold, damp air rushing onto him.
Oh.
Jerry looks at him with big, sad eyes with a small twinkle from the street light, reflecting off. Zach begins to feel guilt after what he has done and says, "Can I pick you up and bring you inside?" Jerry nods suspiciously, but gives in. He slowly approaches Zach and he carefully scoops him up in his arms. Zach walks out of the alleyway and turns the corner facing the coffee shop. There was a large glowing open sign shaped like a coffee cup. Jerry looked inside and all he saw was heaven, with all the sweet treats and the smell of fresh brewed coffee grounds. Jerry's eyes widen with delight. He jumps out of Zach's arms and ran up to the glass case of apple turnovers and various types of bagels. Jerry asked for the apple turnover and a shot of espresso.
Like a raccoon needs espresso. Can you imagine?
"Are you sure you can handle coffee? You're a raccoon," asked Zach. "Sure I can. I can do everything. If I can talk, I can drink coffee."
He's got a point.
Yep. Zach gave in and gave him his order. "It's on the house," says Zach. "Oh, it sure is, since you decided to pelt me into a wall," Jerry says sarcastically.
And he has no money because he's a raccoon?
Yep. "So what are you doing here, Mr. Raccoon? And why can I talk to you?" Zach asks. "Well, you're actually the one I was looking for, Zach. I need your help with a mission that has been placed in my paws.
Oh.
I need to get back something very special that belongs to my family. But it is somewhere here, and you're the only one that can help me," says Jerry. "I don't know if I can do that. My parents are really strict with what I do around here. They say I'm useless and I can't do anything right," Zach says solemnly. "Well, let's prove them wrong with you saving the world today," Jerry says eagerly. "What do you mean, save the world? What do we have that you need?" asks Zach. "Well, in the back room you have a bag of coffee beans that gives people superhuman strength or the power of invisibility, and you know all those fun things. But it was never supposed to be shipped to you guys. I work in a factory that makes all those magic coffee beans, and I ate one day, and then I turned into a raccoon."
Oh no. I didn't see that coming for some reason.
"So I must get this bag from you. Then I can get back to normal. That is the last bag in the world."
Why is it the last bag?
You'll see.
Okay.
Zach walks into the back room to the storage room with all the coffee beans. He hears murmurs from the cooler of his parents arguing. "We can't let anyone know that we have the bag. We have to hide it. You know how much money we can get from this? We could have a better life, fix up the shop, maybe send Zach to a better school. We need to get rid of the stupid raccoon. He's going to ruin everything," Zach's dad says.
Sounds like a coffee mafia kind of thing.
Dun, dun, dun.
like they know that. How do they know that it existed and knew that they would get a lot of money? Or is this
You'll
one of those
see.
things where I just have to accept because I keep questioning everything?
It'll be explained.
Okay. I'm sorry. I like it so far. I'm just excited.
Yeah.
I want to know where it's going. So I'll stop talking. I'm sorry.
"Honey, you should have never given him those beans in the first place. This is why he's trying to get in. You guys, we're partners in all this. We should have never gotten involved," his mother says. "Listen, if we don't get anyone else involved in this, it should be okay. I have a plan. It won't be easy, but it should buy us some time. I just have to talk to the big boss of the company." "No, you can't do this. You promised me you would stay away from all this. We have a family to think about. Don't you dare get us wrapped up in the magic realm again."
Again?
"Yes. I don't think I can handle this anymore. We opened the shop to get a normal life again." Zach's mom storms out of the cooler and sees Zach just standing there, his face white as a ghost, and goes, "So the raccoon I have sitting in the shop is an actual human?" She yells, "Honey, get out here now!" Zach's dad comes out of the cooler and says, "How much of that did you hear?" "Enough," Zach says nervously. "Son, I've been waiting to tell you about this for a while now, but you never seem to be mature enough to handle it."
Rude.
I know. See, you can't do anything right, apparently.
Oh, poor Zach.
"We are a part of the magic realm. We all have special powers, but yours never seem to come in." So we tried to hide this world from you. And maybe we shouldn't have. But I made a mistake with the man out there. We were best friends and I betrayed him, explains his father. So what do I do with the raccoon man sitting in our dining room right now? He's looking for the magic beans.
Magic beans.
Magic beans, Zach asked. No, we cannot give it to him. He's going to report me to the authorities. Get rid of him. Zach goes out into the dining room and says to Jerry, I'm sorry, I can't find them. I don't think we have them. Well, dang. I wish it didn't have to come to this, Zach. What do you mean? Says Zach. Jerry pulls out a wand and hits him with electricity. Zach is flown into the back of the wall and things come crashing down on top of him. The posters and shelves of coffee cups come crashing to the ground. Zach is stunned and it takes him a few minutes to get up. Jerry scurries into the back of the store and meets face to face with Zach's mother and father. Well, look at what the raccoon dragged in. My old accomplice. My friend. My ally.
Ha.
And guess what happened next? Greed. You gave me up for money. I'll never forgive you for that, explained Jerry. Look, I'm sorry that I've done that to you, but you know what kind of position I was in. We just had a baby. We were losing our house. Jerry hits Zach's father with electricity and forces him into the cooler door. Then his father puts out his hand and throws a force field around himself, then hits Jerry with his own force field. All while the two were fighting, Zach sneaks into the back and finds the coffee beans. He holds them up and says, Is this what you're looking for, Jerry? Jerry's eyes turn wide and says, What are you going to do with it? I'm going to destroy them, but I'll give you one single bean. But if I do, you'll never show your face here again, and you won't report my father to the Magic Kingdom, and I won't tell them that you are here. Jerry agrees, and Zach makes him an espresso shot. Jerry drinks it, and he transforms back into his original human state. Zach takes the beans and burns them in the campfire out back. His father comes up behind him and says, You showed a lot of strength today. You are a better man than I. Jerry puts a hand on Zach's dad and says, Can we start over? I miss my best friend. Maybe I can forgive you after all. Especially with the man that you have raised, you must have a good bone in your body still. The two men shake hands in truce. The end.
Oh, all that fighting over coffee. I love it. That's how I feel in the morning.
Yeah,
before I
me
have
too.
it. It's like, why is this drive-through so long? Everyone get out of the way.
Yep.
I liked it. That was nice. That was fun.
I would like to expand on that sometime and like add more detail.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to. My little raccoon friend, Croissant.
I love Croissant.
Thanks. I do too. And Jerry seems like a pretty cool raccoon when he was a raccoon.
He was.
Even though he was like part of the coffee mafia or something.
Yeah. But he is a good guy, but he's not a good guy.
Yeah. He was just wronged.
Yeah.
I get that.
That was his villain era.
Yeah, his villain era.
That's his origin story.
Yeah. I love it. All right, well, since we've gotten through both of our stories, it is now time to announce next week's prompts. And this week we had a special request from our cousin Ashley, who is an avid listener.
Hi, Ashley.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Thanks.
So, she has requested a challenging prompt, and I am excited to do this.
Me too.
The genre will be a comedy. The setting is in a magnet factory, and the challenge is to include a bag of frozen peas.
I have so many jokes already for that.
Can't wait to hear them. Yes, for a comedy, we're going to need jokes. So if you are someone who think, wow, some of these prompts seem kind of easy, which is kind of weird that they just keep happening like that because it's all by chance.
I promise you we're not looking at them ahead of time.
Nope. This one we knew about ahead of time only because we got the request, and we were like excited to like use it. So, if you have any ideas of your own that you would like us to do and hear from us, you can email us if you don't have our phone numbers. We're not giving out our phone numbers, but if you already have them, you can text us. But if you don't, you can email us at apodoftales@gmail.com. and just put in the subject line episode idea or something like that. And then again, while we're talking about email, you can also email us your own short stories for our listener episodes at apotoftails@gmail.com.
But you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, A Pot of Tales. That's where we post all of our links.
Yes, and then to listen to us. Oh, sorry, did I interrupt you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And to listen to us, you can find us on Spotify and YouTube at A Pot of Tales.
Yes, and please like, comment, and subscribe, whatever they let you do on there. If you can rate us, that'd be swell.
Swell.
Yes, we definitely appreciate all of the love that we've gotten so far. We're always open to more.
Yes. And we also need the listens on Spotify too.
Yes,
so
yes,
listen
yes.
there too.
Yes, we're very grateful for everyone listening on YouTube.
Yes.
But we definitely need some more on Spotify as well. So share with your friends,
Your family,
your coworkers.
your dog,
I was just going to say pets. But yeah, your hamster.
your acquaintances,
Yeah, your frenemies.
people on the street,
Your enemies. Come on.
friend enemies.
That was a frenemy.
I don't know.
Okay. I think we ran out of people. If you can think of more people to share them with, go for it. And then have them tell us that you sent them. So we can say thanks.
Yeah. Thank you in advance.
Yes, thank you in advance. And since it's December, happy almost Christmas.
I'm so excited. I started listening to Christmas music now, and now I'm going to try to make it at work. I probably will get kicked out. But
you waited this long?
Yeah.
I've been listening since Thanksgiving.
Well, I mean, I've listened to some of it like in the car by myself, but I need to subject other people to it as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to listen to it at work. Probably get yelled at, but then I'm going to scream.
I'll just turn it up louder so you can't hear them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Drown them out with the Christmas joy.
I will. And then I'm going to call them a bunch of Grinches.
Yeah.
That's my go-to line lately.
I love that. Okay, well, thanks again for listening.
Thank you.
See you next week. And when we're reading comedies in a magnet factory with frozen peas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.